Here we are, back again. It's very exciting to be here with you. I'm Father Brian O'Brien.
Whoa.
I live in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Payne County, USA. And I'm joined by Father Kerry, who also lives in Stillwater, Payne County, USA. We are the pastors of Payne County, north of the Cimarron River. Did you know that there is another parish in Payne County?
Yeah.
It's in Saints Peter and Paul and Cushing.
Oh, I mean, we've talked about this several times.
Check it out. I'm just saying. We're called Pastors of Payne. I just want to make sure. We were going to call ourselves Pastors of Payne north of the Cimarron River, but that got too long. That got
What is the longest retreat center name in history?
Our Lady of Grace Catholic Retreat Center.com. That's their email. Every time I email like Betsy and Judine, I'm like, Betsy at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Retreat Center.com.
Uh-huh.
Like, can we just maybe Grace Retreat Center?
There's probably another Grace Retreat
okay.
Center there.
But we are blessed. If you have not checked out, if you're in and around Oklahoma or Northwest Arkansas or Kansas anyway, check out Our Lady of Grace Catholic Retreat Center.com.
Yeah.
They have really good stuff going on. Really, like 3-day Ignatian retreats. You can go anytime and just book a like a silent retreat. But they're doing these Monday little retreats about like God the Creator and like art and
What?
it's really cool. It's really cool.
Okay.
So check that out. That's a beautiful resource that we have right here in our backyard. It's just right there, right out there on Fairgrounds Road.
Oh, I know. And it's so beautiful.
It's beautiful out there. They have 100 acres. I was just out there the other day.
Yeah, the Cullums did a magnificent job of designing that.
They did.
And
Should check it
putting a
out.
lot of love into it. So
Our Lady of Grace Catholic Retreat Center in StillwaterOklahoma.com.
Yep. In Stillwater, Oklahoma.
USA, America, GoPokes.com. Okay, Father Kerry, Lent is coming up.
Wait, what? No, it's not.
I'm just kidding.
It's coming up Valentine's Day.
Yes, this is yet 2024. Gear up, guys. Gear up. Is yet another year where your Valentine's Day is going to get wrecked.
Yeah, I was talking to Amanda and Justin Mannion. They live in St. Louis, and her birthday is February 14th. And she's like, why does this happen to me? Valentine's Day, a Wednesday.
So
my
really,
birthday.
Valentine's Day, if you're a Catholic, really, Valentine's Day is the feast of Saints Cyril and Methodius.
Yes.
But a lot of you lovebirds out there, you like to celebrate Valentine's Day. But anyway, you're going to have to do it on Tuesday the 13th. So because it's Ash Wednesday, and Ash Wednesday is a day of fasting and abstinence. At some point, we're also going to have to talk about Christmas.
Oh.
Which you don't care about.
Because I'm off.
Because you close. Christmas this year is going to be...
What is it? When is it? Come on, tell me.
Christmas is on a Monday.
Oh, so it comes up with the parallelogram.
Oh my gosh! So
it's like
Saturday night, Saturday evening is the vigil of the fourth Sunday of Advent. Sunday morning is the fourth Sunday of Advent. Sunday evening is Christmas Eve, and Monday morning is Christmas Day.
Hey, let me know how you want me to help.
I do want you to help.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Thank you for taking all the masses. I'm gonna need a break that day.
Yeah, I'll come in. And
Monday's my day off. I mean, I don't care. Christmas, I don't.
Who?
I'm burnt out.
I sounded.
Not all of us get to take sabbaticals.
Hey, you know what? You should have started applying before me.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, well, luckily I blocked all your emails from the bishop and hacked your computer. So anytime you wrote an email to the bishop about begging for sabbatical, it went to his trash can.
My sabbatical requests don't go directly to the bishop.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
They go to his minions and then up the chain.
That's right. Well, okay. So you said it's getting close.
So here's what we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about not. I think there is a mentality. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes in the church, and this happens in life, where we're sort of close to a milestone or close to like some new beginning. So maybe even like the start of a school year. The new year, when 2023 becomes 2024, when people come up towards a birthday, when people come up towards Lent, we have something that like we want, maybe some bad habit that we want to get rid of, some virtue that we want to work on, something like that. And we
Yep.
wait. We say, all right, when I turn 40, when I turn 50, then I'm really going to start, and I'm really going to stop smoking. Or I'm going to start taking care of myself. Or I'm going to stop drinking.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to stop watching pornography. Or I'm going to, all the things that people put up with. Or I'm going to start being nicer to my kids. I'm going to spend more time with my family. Fill in the blank, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We wait until there's some milestone. So as soon as school starts, then as soon as my birthday comes, January 1st, and people do it also with Lent. And that's especially true in our spiritual lives.
Oh.
So here we are in like September, and I think there's a temptation to just like know what needs to be done, know what discipline needs to be applied in your life, and for whatever reason, you're waiting for some milestone. As soon as October starts, then I'm really gonna, like in the movie Airplane, when they're under these stressful times, and that guy says, "Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking."
Sniffing Airplane.
And then later in these, looks like I picked the wrong week to quit taking amphetamines. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Anyway, all of the above.
Okay.
But now is the day of
And,
salvation.
well, I know now is. And what I guess when I was talking to you about like podcast ideas, it was because I had a conversation with some friends about students about the St. Michael fast. And the St. Michael fast was done by St. Francis of Assisi. And as I was like, what is the St. Michael fast? And it's a fast that brings you up to the feast of the archangels, and the feast of St. Michael the Archangel. And so when you went what is it about? Exodus 90 had an article about it as well, and it's like, and I see it. It's like I don't have a real great devotion to St. Michael the Archangel. We have a bell named after him, and we prayed the St. Michael prayer at the end of every mass. Okay, it's like I do these things because maybe I have a devotion. Now, hear me out. You ready? This is what I'm thinking. How do we, as we've been talking, even books we've been reading, how do we turn ourselves to God in a greater way? And people love little bitty things like, they like a class, like a 3-day intense class. Or they like these, F45, like a 45-minute really intense workout.
F45?
Yeah, F45.
Is that a workout?
Fitness. I guess F is not fitness, but I guess, F is fitness. I was like PH, physical, my brain. It's like fitness 45, F45. They want these like really intense things. This is what I'm going to propose to our listeners, and even to us and our priests and Catholics throughout the hemisphere, is to start living a novena life.
Tell me more.
And it's this. I've been thinking about this for a couple months. We like to do things in little blocks. And I think novenas, which have sort of just like, I'm going to pray this little bitty prayer to St. Clare. It's like, okay, well, that prayer took 5 seconds to pray on the novena of St. Clare. Or Therese of Lisieux, which is October 1st. So to maybe like back up a few 9 days before the feast day of Therese of Lisieux, which is October 1st, and actually do something like a fast, to do like pray the rosary for 9 days, fast on no meat for 9 days, don't drink any alcohol or eat any sweets or watch TV, of like taking 9 days in a 9-day block and just pray in anticipation of the great doctor of the church, Therese of Lisieux's feast day. Or even look a little further ahead to the great day of All Saints and All Souls, the
November
31st,
1st, November
31st,
2nd?
1st, and 2nd All Souls, is to go back 9 days before the great feast of All Saints and to begin a rigorous, like, I'm going to stop by my parish and I'm going to go to daily mass. At what time is your daily mass here at St. Francis?
Depends on the day, 12:10 every day.
Yeah, so you know what? Instead of eating lunch, I'm going to go to mass and then I'm going to have a piece of bread and a banana afterwards instead of like doing whatever. And because this is what I think we like want to accomplish these great goals and in Lent. We're like, oh, I got 40 days. I got 40 days. And this is why this came to my mind. 40 days. I got 40 days. I got 40 days. This summer, I got a burner phone. Remember that?
I do. You left your real phone in your room.
No, I took my phone with me as my navigator and jukebox.
What was in your room? How many phones do you have?
I had 2 at the time.
Are you dealing drugs?
I'm an assassin. Assassin's Creed. So I had this burner phone. So all summer long, I prayed the Liturgy of the Hours, not on my phone ever, always on my breviary. When I went to bed, I would read. I never had access to internet. I never knew what was going on in the news world. I could get text messages and phone calls, and I could listen to Spotify, and I could find my way around the world, around the world. Because maps, tried to use maps, like the big books. They don't even sell those things anymore. And if you do have an old map that's like 10 or 15 years old, like some of the highways aren't even on there anymore. You're like, what? This highway's right here?
Have you ever used Google Maps? It's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so I come back from my sabbatical. 60 days. 60 days. That's 60. There's 40 days in Lent. And I thought, okay, I am no longer going to read the news before I go to bed. I'm no longer going to listen to podcasts when I try to go to sleep. I'm not going to check out the sports in the middle of the day. I'm not going to get on social media. I'm going to do these things. As soon as I get my internet phone back, I start praying night prayer from my phone. I start reading.
Why didn't you do that?
Reading the news when I'm going to bed. I start listening to podcasts before I go to sleep. And I was like, no. I came up with these rules. And so I realized, like, I had 60 days to do a lot of purification. And God did some really great healing and beautiful work. And they all and not all of them came back, but 1 or 2 of them came back. And so what I've realized is, we need to do this, like, not only battle against evil in our lives, a battle for grace and divine life. We need to, as St. Paul says, fight the good fight. Like we have to do this. And so I'm thinking, like, and this, I've given this a couple weeks and months of thought of really taking serious these novenas and taking 9 days and really just intense praying. And I think there's a website, novenas.com, and you can go up and look at them and then set, like, the Feast of Therese of Lisieux, because it's September right now. And
we're doing a little novena to the Holy Spirit ahead of our little, like, stewardship renewal. Yeah. That was like, as like a parish or leading up to Pentecost. But it's also something that you can do personally or with your family.
Yeah.
Or with your roommates.
And yeah, I think most of the time, at least I've done them in the past. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. But most of the time when I do a novena, it is I pray a prayer, and then I keep doing everything the same way I've been doing them. The St. Michael fast made me think different, because the St. Michael fast said, you're supposed to treat this as Lent for 40 days. This is like a mini Lent. And so we, like, in the Eastern Catholic Church, some of y'all know that I'm a priest of the Eastern Catholic Church of the Ukrainian Eparchy of St. Nicholas out of Chicago. And one of the things that we refer to as Christmas, we refer to it as Christmas Lent. So you got some options coming up of not only before Therese of Lisieux, you got All Saints coming up in October. So right after, at the end of September, boom, it goes in October. And then you prepare for All Saints. And then when All Saints is over with, you're preparing for Christmas. And so the Advent fast. And there's all these beautiful fasts we can do. Fast, pray, give alms, which leads to our conversion. Because we've been talking about these books, and even the Wild at Heart book that I've been listening to their podcast. And
They have a podcast?
yeah, they do. Wild at Heart podcast.
Yeah.
I've been listening to their podcast, and even all these books. Like, why? Like Harrison's article. Why is our souls so fat and sluggish? Why? It's because we don't do any exercise. We just plop down on our couches and turn on the TV, or plop down on the couches and look at our phones, and plop down on our couches and wait for God to beam us down stuff. And he's gonna what's that terrible scene where he goes into the town and they say, "Well, weren't we there when you did all these great things?" And he's like, "I don't even know you because you don't even know me." Like, are we taking this time in our life to really become friends with Jesus Christ, filled with the Holy Spirit, so we can be brought into the kingdom of the Heavenly Father?
You said novena lifestyle. What did you say? Is that how you said it?
I don't remember what I said.
Is that, you made that up?
I did.
Living like a novena?
Lifestyle.
Yeah, so kind of from novena to novena?
Yeah. But don't do everyone back to back.
Yeah. Just, I mean,
like,
if you can't do all of them.
Like,
There's
take a fast.
thousands.
Like, take a fast from meat for 9 days.
But maybe looking at, so like I think if each person, there's certain feasts, certain big days that we all celebrate. All Saints, for example, Holy Day of Obligation, Christmas.
Yeah.
But then maybe are there ones kind of important to you? Who's your confirmation saint? Who are you named after? Here in the feast of Saint John the Evangelist is December 27th.
Yep.
The feast of Saint Francis Xavier is December 3rd.
Yep.
So things like that, like sort of looking ahead to specific saints that are important to you. Do you have some saint? I love Saint Damien of Molokai, feast day, May 10th. I don't expect everyone else to think he's the greatest.
Yeah.
But for me, like maybe starting, May 1st, do I do a novena to Damien of Molokai for a specific intention, for my own priesthood, whatever it may be. I think the other part of it too is that like a lot of us have like things that we want to pray for, people in our lives, maybe especially people like who are away from the church, people in need of conversion. That's a great opportunity. I'm going to offer this novena and this particular fast from meat, from alcohol, from television, and I'm offering it for my spouse, for my children, for the priests of your parish, for the Pope and for the bishop, or some other intention. But to be, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, because I think sometimes our prayer lives are almost like too general. Okay, I'm now going to pray, but like it has no focus, it has no sort of direction. And then that can for people, if you don't have like real focus or structure to your prayer, it kind of falls apart and you're not really motivated to do it.
Yeah. I would start with bringing my own self to conversion, and then maybe in 3 months start worrying about other people. Because I mean, how am I? Why would I start praying for this person over here when I'm a jerk, or I'm envious and I'm greedy, or like someone, your spouse comes into the kitchen and you're trying to get coffee and hurry out, and you drop your cup and you start spouting profanity and yelling at your kids. It's like, well, bro, there's the conversion right there. Don't start praying for them. Start like humbling yourself and fasting, and so that you then begin to like see your family as the life of the Holy Family right here in your domestic church. And it all starts with me. What is that Taylor Swift song?
We are never ever getting back together.
Yeah, that's the evil in us.
Bad
it's,
blood.
It's like we're never, ever, ever getting back together. But all we do is we want to get back together with this.
Is that
but
the one you were talking about?
Yeah. And you kind of read my soul.
My
but
gosh.
No, actually, that's not.
Actually, I only know 4 Taylor Swift songs.
You said it, and I was like, that'll work. And so, because that's what we want to get back together with this vice that we have, but we don't have the ability to say no to something. And when we don't have the ability to say no to something, then I can't say no to this vice that I want to get back together with. Whatever it may be, of standing drop kicking people, or, I just want to give somebody the middle finger, or I want to yell at people.
We're going to do a show on the spiritual life of T Swift.
My nieces went and saw her with my sister this year, and I think it was in Nashville,
I'm going to
Tennessee.
look up the lyrics.
Yeah. Never. What album is it on? Because then for that novena of Taylor Swift,
It's
I can dress
the red,
in that.
the red album.
I'll just
from
wear
2012.
red. I'll wear red for 9 days. Because apparently this year, do you know she gave like each of her drivers like, what was it, a half
200,000. I saw that.
Like she's like, here, thank you for making this tour amazing. Well, I was pretty generous of her when you made $300
You know
million.
what, Father Kerry? I think you've stumbled onto something. Listen to these lyrics.
Yeah.
I remember when we broke up the first time, saying,
See?
"This is it. I've had enough." Because we hadn't seen each other in a month. When you said we needed space, then you come around again and say, "Baby, I miss you. I swear I'm gonna change. Trust me." Remember how that lasted for a day?
Keep going.
And then we are never, ever, ever getting back together.
There it is.
You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me, but we are never, ever, ever getting back
together.
And then this verse 2, I'm really going to miss you picking fights and me falling for it, screaming that I'm right. And you would hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine. Okay, that's where it falls apart.
That's where it falls apart.
Wow.
The refrain.
T.
We're
Swift.
never, ever,
What a-
ever
what a
getting back together.
What a theologian.
Let me go into my homily on some Wednesday night when I'm preaching about sin and grace.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is we want to get back together with the divine life of grace.
A theology. This could be a whole lecture. What are the other songs we know? Bad Blood.
Oh,
Because, baby, now we got Bad Blood.
I don't know any more songs. My nieces know all of them. And Father Gail Hammerschmidt, who
He does?
he's a huge Taylor Swift fan. When we go play golf, he listens to Taylor Swift.
I think I'd go to a Taylor Swift concert.
They're really expensive tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the cheapest ones are in the $250, $300 range.
Oh.
Okay, so this is
I saw They Might Be Giants.
they rewrote a song.
That was a great show.
The masses, the sun is a mass.
The Sun song?
Yeah, but it was wrong because it's not. It's not exactly what they said. It's the sun is a mass of incandescent gas, and it's not.
But anyway, what we're trying to get across, this is from St. Paul to the Corinthians. Now is the acceptable time.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the day of salvation.
Well, I was thinking of his line where he says, "Let's be transformed."
That was a reading a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And so there's this
Do not be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
And so we're St. Paul is even saying like, "Hey, listen here, Corinthians. Listen here, Romans. Listen here, Thessalonians. We're called to be transformed." And if I'm not being transformed by the renewal of my mind, which the mind is then I'm telling this whatever, it's the soul of the mind united together. I'm telling my body what it's made for. It's made for receiving, like we talked about last week of the Eucharist. It's made for receiving this sacrifice of divine life. It's made to be a grace bomb in the world to go around and just like basically ooze grace out. But I think where we are right now, especially in this Eucharistic revival, is we ooze sluggishness. We ooze mediocrity.
Sloth.
Yeah.
Acedia.
Acedia is even more deadly. Yeah, acedia is kind of sloth. We say, oh, sloth, but acedia is like the noonday devil. That's what acedia
Yep.
trans. That's what sloth is. When Thomas, kind of used that new wording from Gregory the Great, acedia.
So the way out is what?
The way out, I think, is not to wait for Lent, bro.
So you're sitting around, you're listening to this, and you're like, my spiritual life is weak sauce.
Yeah, and so I would give a couple suggestions. Someone asked, "What do I do?" And I said, "Pray like a priest." And they said, "What does that look like?" I said, "Go to mass every day. Pray morning and evening prayer. Pray the rosary. Make a holy hour. Do spiritual reading. Fast on Wednesdays and Fridays." There's some prescriptions right there. So you may not be able to do all of that, you people out in the listening world, but I think we can do it for 9 days. Just to take it for a test drive.
Oh.
Like, dip our toes in the water. Like, Exodus 90 has a lot of this stuff that they do. You don't have to get on there like, it's 90 days to a new me, new fit body boot camp, F45. I'm going to get on the rowing machine. I'm going to get chiseled like a Greek god. You don't have to do that. Start with the Tres of Lezu Novena at the end of September.
Or All Saints.
And then try
Let me find that website.
novenas.com.
Is that really
I
what
think
it's called?
it's like just novenas.com and see what happens. And then do one for All Saints. And then do one for Advent in preparation for Christmas. And,
Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah. Do one for
there's an
the
app.
Immaculate Conception, December 8th.
PrayMoreNovenas.com.
Bam! Hey, Pray More Novenas.
Yeah,
you
this
just got
is the
some
one
free
we've used.
advertisement.
This is the one we've used.
You just got some free advertisement.
There's one. There it is. All Saints, All Souls. The Anniversary Novena leading up to one's wedding anniversary.
Oh,
The Bethlehem Novena. Wow, they have a lot.
yeah. I mean,
Father
they have.
Michael McGivney, Knights of Columbus Novena.
Yep. And I think it's
Christmas, Christ the King,
It-
Corpus Christi.
each novena should start with like, I'm going to not use my cell phone this week for internet. I'll use it to call and make text messages, but that's about it.
Healing from Childhood Trauma Novena.
Yeah. I think there's some really good stuff
The
out there.
Litany of Trust.
Yep.
There is so many. The Novena against Evil. The Novena against Fear.
Now stop. Hold on, Father O'Brien. Now I want to say this. People are just going to go and take the prayer and be like, "Great, I prayed this prayer for 9 days, and I think that's really great." And what else are you going to do? How are we going to take these little mini novenas and help and use them to help us become
Yeah,
saints?
this is not magic.
Yeah,
you know.
because most people are like, I prayed this novena to Tres Lezu and now I'm looking for flowers. I'm like, come on. I go around and buy all the red and yellow flowers and I leave them all over the place so that all these Catholic kids will be like, oh my gosh, I saw red flowers. Now I'm
That's
totally
you?
confused.
You
That's
do
me.
that?
I'm that jerk. I think it's going to be a win if we just say, okay, for 9 days, I'm just going to intensify my prayer, my fasting, my going to sleep and getting 8 hours of sleep, spiritual reading, the rosary, and just growing in holiness and like recognizing the movements of the Holy Spirit in me without all these other terrorist organizations such as my cell phone, my TV, lots of meat. I eat sugar all day long and drink soda and just like binge on stuff.
There are some amazing novenas on here.
I know.
Wow.
Okay, wow is indeed. Okay, Ponce, come on.
So check these out. Yeah, check it. So praymorenovenas.com. But then what Father Kerry is saying, and I agree, and that is not just sort of the words of the novena, but real, what we do during Lent is prayer, fasting, and almsgiving.
But we also don't do that. I mean, most people are like, well, my 14th cousin is Irish. Can I eat meat on Friday during Lent because of it's St. Patrick's Day? Oh, yeah, I will. I think
You're saying we're weak.
we're weak, and we know it, and we're afraid to do anything about it. Who is your famous favorite hero?
I'm gonna
Who
just
is your
leave. We're just gonna leave it there. All right, we'll see you next week.
Peace.